Hello, my name is Christin Smith and I'm a second-year journalism student in the graduate program at Morgan State University. Today my story is about Black women in self-care. I hope you enjoyed this journey. Dr. Paris Adkins Jackson recently did research on Black women and self-care. But before that is explored, what is self-care?
Self-care is a system of thoughts or activities that an individual may use to work towards their overall wellness, balance, or health. Usually self-care is important or employed whenever an individual feels like they have a deficit or they're lacking.
Self-care is needed to counter health disparities in Black women, such as hypertension, stroke and heart disease, obesity, cancer, and STDs.
According to the research I've done, my dissertation research on self-care for Black women, I've condensed the information into 5 core principles that can be considered steps towards self-care for a Black woman. And the first principle is where you really take the time to identify the poisonous behaviors, those patterned behaviors, those situations where something happens and you keep going, how do I end up at this spot?
Your mental and emotional is kind of thrown by the wayside. When you get those headaches, when you just feel like you can't really get out of bed, but nobody knows you can't get out of bed. I think that really, those are key signs that we need to pay more attention to.
Social and political factors such as sexism, misogyny, racism, and economic status can make Black women question how do they take authority of their self-care.
The idea really is about a Black woman going, this is a behavior that is occurring in my life and it's leading me to this experience of poor health, and I'm going to take charge over it because I'm going to continue to modify it. That includes the decisions we make or the boundaries we create with family and friends. The next core principle would be reconnecting yourself to your spiritual connection. And that could be listening to your intuition, it could be listening to your spirit, it could be being in a spiritual community where you are getting that information.
The Living Well Center, located in Baltimore, Maryland, offers ways to reconnect and heal.
The Living Well, we are devoted to soulful expression, conscious expansion, and optimal wellness. And many of the activities that we are engaged in is around circle work, around healing work, around healing trauma and identifying trauma, and also healing arts that are evidence-based, such as Qigong and Tai Chi and yoga.
The fourth principle is to then educate yourself on different self-care activities. And this is really an exploratory process because you don't know. We haven't been modeled all of the self-care activities or even a wide range of activities that we can employ. So we have to explore what may be out there.
The accountability principle emphasizes the importance of a sisterhood circle.
They hold you accountable. They're wondering why you're not doing step number 1. Why aren't you identifying those behaviors? Why are you talking about the same things for 6 months? Why aren't you working on this process? They hold you accountable.
The self-care consciousness. So now we're moving away from this idea of it being a daily practice or an activity, but this is a consciousness they're talking about. Building a frame of life, of thinking that practices self-care.
Self-care is more than getting by each day for Black women, but self-care is a way to resist the global oppressive power structure that exists in society and institutions that hinder the well-being of all Black women.